eCapitol News Director Sean Ashley joins us now to discuss the latest news from the state capitol. Sean, it's good to see you.
Good to see you.
Well, first of all, bill pre-filing season is over. What's the tally?
Well, it looks like lawmakers have filed 2,815 bills for consideration when lawmakers reconvene on February 4th. This seems to be a modern-day record. People may recall that back in 2011, lawmakers significantly changed the way they do the bill filing process. They eliminated the pre-filing of appropriations bills. Those are filed later in the session when there's a budget agreement. So you take all of those out, several hundred, and still this year is substantially more than any year we have seen since 2011. There's a lot of work for lawmakers to do.
Any idea why?
It's hard to say. More than likely, you have a lot of new lawmakers who are trying to be responsive to their constituents. They heard on the stump that something needed to be done, and they're looking at a way to tackle that. We also see in the House that legislative leaders, particularly House Speaker Charles McCall, filed what are considered shell bills, bills that lack any substantive language at this point that can be used to address particular issues. There are more than 500 shell bills in the House.
No rest for the weary. You're going to be busy
for a while.
This session. And in his inauguration speech Monday, now Governor Stitt talked about state agencies not having accountability and that he would like to have more power in appointing state agency heads. What say you about that?
Well, what we see are several pieces of legislation being filed by lawmakers to address that very issue. Senator Larry Boggs, a Republican out of Wilburton, filed one of the first pieces of legislation dealing with that, which would allow the governor to appoint the agency heads of a number of agencies. Senator Greg Treat, the Senate President pro tem, filed 5 bills related to that issue, dealing with individuals like the Department of Corrections Director, the Department of Transportation Director, Mental Health and Substance Abuse Services, and the Oklahoma Health Care Authority, as well as the Director of the Office of Juvenile Affairs. It seems like lawmakers have an interest in this issue, but it should be pointed out similar bills have been filed in the past, and most have not made it to the floor for final consideration.
And we're looking at numbers of registered voters. Are they going up? What are the numbers there?
Yes, what we're seeing is that there are now well over 2 million registered voters in the state of Oklahoma. We saw a huge turnout in the last gubernatorial election. The Secretary of the State Election Board, Paul Zurich, says he hopes to see that growth continue. Republicans, of course, are leading the growth in the state, but he hopes those individuals will turn out when the next elections roll around, some as early as February 15th.
All right. Sean Ashley with eCapitol, always a pleasure. Thank you for being with us.
Nice to be here.